Thank you once again, ominous Siri robot. I'm not going to call you creepy because I was thinking
Because
about.
you're having an affair with her, no
Yeah, I
doubt.
know. I've been seeing Alexa Siri. I didn't know how to break it to you, but she talks dirtier to me and she's faster.
Well,
And
one of you two raise your standards, please.
I know, right? Yeah, I keep her in bed with me all the time, because sometimes I talk in my sleep. She can Google shit in my sleep. It's like multitasking. I'm like
It's
I'm
one of
like
those great
Doctor
days.
I'm like Doctor Strange, but with fucking Siri instead. Like even when I'm sleeping, I'm studying.
You should really get out less.
I should get out less. You should get out more, dude. We need to come together and like make a balanced human. Somebody that goes out like me but has better judgment. Not better judgment, but I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
A little restraint.
Yeah, restraints just mate. Restraints are what anyways, I don't need to go into that.
Yeah,
It's
those
just
records are sealed.
they are with yeah, they're sealed for sure. Sealed definitely
I
shut.
kid.
Yeah,
I
I
kid.
know, I know. I was gonna do it, but I'm like, sometimes crude humor. Sometimes you need to take a breath, which is what I'm gonna do. And
And the world hears a collective sigh of relief.
yeah, I know. Sunrise, sunset. Also,
Um,
this
uh,
this, this 8 ball kush is hitting me nice. So what's up, yo? But yeah, you guys, this is episode number 4 of Wheelz and Wells. We've been off for the past couple of weeks, so I thought we'd come together, reconvene, just do a Cam and myself episode, just a Cam and I episode, just to make it a little easier. And plus, Zoom has a time limit, so this way it can just be whatever.
it's always easier without the self-destruct countdown.
Yeah, I know. It's like the third Die Hard movie when he brings a bomb to that school, and like it turns into like a specific color and shit, and the guy he clips like the wrong wire, and then the blue just squirts out at him like the slime on Nickelodeon. And I was thinking like that is a perfect distraction, but also like I don't know. To me, I would have gone with like a different substance or just like not like that substance. Like if I'm trying to be intimidating, it's like fucking blue silly putty, almost the way it just shot out.
Well, difference between silly putty and C4 isn't as big as most people would think.
No, it's a little known fact. It's it's the eighth wonder of the world. Man, oh fuck my sorry, I get distracted sometimes. There's always some crazy shit happening outside my window. I've talked about it on numerous podcasts, but there's a lady outside who I swear to God, she loses the same freaking cat every freaking day. And she always calls out. She's like, come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on. And it's like that for like a good 25 minutes to a half hour, dude. And almost every single time when I go outside my building, as I'm leaving as I'm heading out the front door, I see the fucking cat every single time. It's just sitting
Well,
there.
it
And
likes you.
I think it likes anywhere that's not around this chick because, yeah, from the vibe I get, I'm like, oh, even the cat's like, I'm out of here, dude. I'm pulling the plug on this whole pet owner relationship. Your pet breaks
Well,
up with you. It's so funny. Anyways, I've been talking too much. What do you have to say, my friend?
eh, just the usual. Was actually asked recently to serve the board of directors of a disability advocacy group. They're looking at free insurance for people with disabilities as part of an effort to ease some of the financial strains that I'm sure you felt yourself.
Oh, you mean just this past year or just like in general?
In general, I mean, when it comes to disabilities and finances, shocking number of us are just below the poverty line, and well,
Yeah.
any effort to level the playing field is always a welcome one.
Sure.
And if
Like
you
my thing with
certainly
that is like there's different types of disabilities as we've talked about. So like you have intellectual ones and mobility ones and other types of hindrances. Let's just say, like, how do you determine who gets more cash like that? Like, how's that supposed to work? I think these ideas all sound good, but I don't know how effective they are in practice per se.
I don't have all the details yet. It's just other countries have modeled this effectively, and we're trying to push for a national standard to at least move in that direction. And I'm still personally waiting to see if they want to formalize my serving. Just one of their representatives who had a chance to review my course decided, hey, this guy's pretty good. But when it comes to determining what counts as a disability, does bring into question the whole issue of what people don't see, they don't understand sometimes.
Yeah, oh yeah, the invisible disabilities, I guess, element to this. I don't know. I think it's different for some people. Some people say they have it, and it's just like, oh, they're just moody. But I think there's some people where there's a legit uh, underlying thing that you normally wouldn't see as overtly as maybe something that you and I have per se, or other people we know with mobility issues as such.
Well, if you look at something like bipolar disorder, for some people, be like a life altering sort of thing. But for others, they just won't accept it's there until there's some after effect. I was thinking about an old friend of mine who actually was bipolar and ended up wounding himself when he was younger. And as a result, he has some neurological damage. Well, nobody was willing to accept that he had an emotional problem up until the moment that his scars became a little more visible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's easier to diagnose some if you can see it. Like, were there always signs with this guy, or was it just kind of way out of left field? Because I think now we're a bit more sensitive to that. We can kind of see the signs as opposed to back in the day. It was not. I don't think it was less common. I just think it wasn't discussed as openly as it is right now.
But that's any number of issues. I mean, people aren't comfortable with it. They have this tendency to sweep it to the side until people make enough noise or have enough visibility. In this guy's case, I had never noticed anything. Once he acquired his disability, I was sort of asked unofficially to kind of look after him, help him adapt to his new normal. But, you know, I mean, it's things like that. These conditions are real. It's just people don't want to look upon them or aren't comfortable accepting there's something beyond their perceptions. Then they tend to be overlooked.
You are the guy to go to whenever shit goes askew, man. You're Cam the disability man. That's what I'm gonna call you. Cam the disability man. Don't sue me, Bill Nye.
Uh,
Don't sue me, Bill Nye.
if you want,
Bill Nye.
we can put that to a jingle the next time you're at the station.
We should, dude. We should. Should be perfect.
Uh,
Oh man.
as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, the station's actually just gotten in a new BIPOC coordinator, and I'm actually hoping to do some work with her in regards to accessibility and
Nice.
just what sort of training can go in. It's kind of an initial stage of the project, but certainly I think in any organization there's room just to have that push for inclusion of all people, whether it be different cultural background, different sexual orientation, different ability range.
I agree. I agree. So I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing out because I'm noticing my dumb mustache right now. And I'm like, it looks like the old Cleveland Indians logo, but like when they're really hamming up like the old shit. Like, oh man, or what? There's like some soccer teams with like the same mustache. Like I can't unsee it, dude. I'm sorry. Talking about this heavy shit, and my dumb mustache is distracting me.
Well, look on the bright side. In about a month and a half, it'll be all the rage.
Exactly. Maybe I'm gonna bleach it too, like an old lady. Like an old lady who's like can't let go of her youth. There's nothing sadder. Holy shit. Okay, this is a bit of a side note. You can probably attest to this on some level, or you probably have had an experience as such. When I do my show on Monday, I'm going to talk about this on stage too. There's some white chicks, or just some women in general, that when you see them, you're like, you are going to be a nightmare at like 45 or like 50, or like when all your looks and shit goes away, people are going to get sick of your shit. Like they're gonna get sick of this attitude, the entitlement, the pushiness, all the stuff that you think is cute or that other people enable in your life, because like I was out the other day and this girl, whatever, it's not important. She's this blonde chick and she's there with her friends. I could tell her friends were kind of annoyed with her because she was that level of drunk where it's like just completely like a train wreck, dude. Because she's going up to the bartender and asking him, uh, she's asking him like, for a song. She wanted to do the "I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt" song. You know that one from the '90s, like "I'm Too Sexy for My," right?
Oh, you've just given me yet another disability. I'm having nightmarish
You're
flashbacks here.
having a nightmare. That's yeah, it's like Winter Soldier. I just had to sing a part of that song, and you like completely change. If activated. Oh.
Uh, now that we've downgraded into Metal Gear here, moving on.
Anyway, so she's like super pushy, and she's asking for the song to change. She's like, "Can you ask him to play this? Can you ask him to play this?" Just being like loud and obnoxious, like in my face. She's like, "Yo, what's up, brother? What's up, brother?" I'm like, "I'm not your brother. I'm Dave. Nice to meet you." Like, just kind of like, all right, let's fucking get on with this interaction. I guess I'm in this now. I didn't want to be in this. It's why I'm sitting at the end of the bar, fucking just doing my own thing, looking off into the abyss. But no, I look like a fucking DJ all of a sudden. So she's like just being pushy and pushy, and like the guy next to her is like ignoring her, and then like my friend who was working the bar that night, he basically indirectly said, yeah, like we can't do that because we have like a playlist and we don't really alter the playlist for people. They do have music in there sometimes, but it wasn't that night. And she just couldn't handle her shit. She couldn't believe that the world for 1 second did not revolve around every request that she had, did not walk to the beat of her drum. Your thoughts? Your thoughts
It's
on that?
kind of interesting you bring this up in so much as the sense of entitlement, it's growing among people. I mean, I once saw what I consider the stupidest statement ever made in terms of education. These two guys were talking. They were studying to be massage therapists. And one of them says, "Why do I need to go to school for this? I could just go out and practice." To which I said, "Yeah, right up until the first lawsuit." I
Mm-hmm.
mean, people are so convinced
You can
that
still practice, you just won't get paid for it.
people they just figure the world owes them something. They seem to forget that 10, 15 years from now, if nobody knows anything, all these cell phones aren't going to work and no one's going to know how to fix them.
Yeah, what if we have the blackout like 2003? Like, remember that? Like, we just had no freaking power for almost a month. It was like
Oh,
crazy.
yes. Uh, thing is, I mean, it's the same with drivers. I see it all the time. If I had a nickel for every bad driver and illegal turn I've seen on Tecumseh Road, I could buy Tecumseh Road.
You could, for every single nickel. You could probably fill the length of Tecumseh Road with all the bad drivers too. Like I think there's a reason why in that show Canada's Worst Driver, like our city is among they were in almost every fucking episode. I don't know if you noticed that. Like every episode they feature somebody from our city.
Hey, we finally accomplished something as a city.
We
Go
did.
team.
Haven't won the Memorial Cup since '09, but we know how to awkwardly parallel park and you know when like the lights flashing if you make a turn, if you don't know how to make a turn on a red light for that city.
Uh, I like the New Jersey motto on that. Hey, I'm parking here.
I'm parking here. I like that. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Yeah, like that sense of entitlement is a good point. I think it's because uh there isn't an understanding or an appreciation for the manifestation of hard work or putting your life into something or dedicating yourself to something. I think that's lost on people
The
who
real,
just expect things to happen for them like instantaneously. We're all kind of guilty of it.
the real tragedy is it's coming from a place where a lot of the people who are committed to working, learning something, knowing something, they find themselves having to kiss up to people who don't know squat about squat, simply because those people do have one marketable skill. they can recognize and interact with each other.
Yeah, and not other people. Like, there's a lot of people that have Michael Scott from The Office as a boss. I've noticed that. Like, maybe not his antics, but like definitely there's a type, you know what I mean? There's definitely a type that rises to the top who gets promoted by nepotism, or because, I'm not hating on nobody, but it's just like when you see some of these instances like that, you question certain things.
Cronyism should never rise above actual ability. If you want to get along with everyone, that's fine, but you should actually be in a position where you're qualified and capable of contributing. I mean, if you look at any internet writer these days, their work tends to be a disaster. And I'm thinking to myself, how do these people get jobs as writers?
It's such third grade fucking trash, gossipy shit, and the term clickbait's been so overused, but like just the way what counts for journalism today is so ridiculous, because you do 2 or 3 Google searches later and you're like, no, that was completely incorrect. That's not at all what you claim to have something different. They completely embellish the truth, or embellish certain things like that. And you're just like, what the fuck is going
It's
on?
something I've really noticed lately. I mean, even with the COVID numbers, different media sources will report different numbers. I mean, they'll be fairly close, within 10 to 20 of the next guy, but I'm actually looking. I'll run a Google search and I'll have two articles right next to each other. One will say 466 new cases, one will say 446 new cases.
Yeah, and
Get your facts straight.
then you think about the population of the province, and you're like, wait a minute, that would mean this many people and that many people, and then it just makes my fucking head spin, and I'm like, somebody's embellishing something here. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
I mean, this is just where, we're not going to talk too much about the COVIDs, or the vid, as I call it, but I think if this is showing us anything, it's that lifestyle plays a factor, age plays a factor, fitness and everything else plays a factor. And to deny that is to be disingenuous. Like, I did a video on my Instagram, my Facebook. I don't know if you saw, where it's like, I find it disturbing how people can say somebody doesn't deserve health care, or somebody should have this and have this, when you have this us versus them, or these are the good people and these are the bad people. History has shown that doesn't end well. So I do everything I can to resist that way of thinking. I save sports for sports. I've made that known very well. I'm like, I make it an effort to post nothing political, like nothing like that, because it's just not for me. And I think it's dividing society in a very alarming way. Because like you said, who knows if this is even true? Who knows it's a fucking troll farm in Kazakhstan or some shit? You don't know nowadays.
thing is, you start separating people into groups when it comes to who belongs and who doesn't. Remember, I brought this up on my show years ago. What I called the impossible standard. You can create one reason not to accept someone. Oh, you look like that, can't let you through. Oh, you move like that, can't let you through. You do build a wall, nobody gets over,
Mm-hmm.
even you yourself. But
That's
when it
smashing
comes to
the wall.
accuracy and what you're reading about all this political stuff, my theory is, speaking as a journalist, you're always going to find someone who wants to be liked and will cater to some group. Basically, you can go looking for news that will agree with you and find it every time.
What is Bill Burr says? I like it's Bill Burr's joke. He's like, most people go to www.imright.com. They just start reciting the facts that they heard from there and don't take a deeper dive into it. And like, I get it. Not everybody has the time. There's a lot of shit going on. You don't know what's going on in people's lives, but the people that are supposed to be the gatekeepers or the beacons of this information, I don't know. It's like the whole thing. Who watches the Watchmen? Type of deal, because it's like, who's in charge of this?
Who watches The Watchmen? What was the name of the guy? Alan Moore.
Alan Moore. He's a literal wizard, dude. He's a literal wizard.
Well, he watches The Watchmen, doesn't he?
I guess so. He doesn't. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, let's
Well,
talk about your documentary. yeah, like, so you're getting a documentary made about your life because I saw you posted something about there was a newsreel when you were a kid, right? Like, and even then, you still were full of piss and vinegar and like being on camera. And it's funny, like when you see some of your friends when they're younger, you're like, man, this makes so much sense in terms of who they are now. And I'm like, this is so Cam. Doesn't even.
Well, the documentary is kind of still being kicked around in the initial stages, but it is going to hopefully include a lot of the history of my accessibility story. It's something I'm working on with one of my fellow accessibility committee members. Great guy. I've worked with him a couple of years now, and shared some laughs, done some interviews, that sort of thing. And well, assuming it all goes through, I'm probably going to want you to be included within the story we're putting together. It's going to go into some of the great moments, like getting the show syndicated, some of the not so great moments when my ex tried to pray my disability out of me without asking. Nothing says I love you quite like trying to fundamentally change someone.
Yeah, I like you, but I would like you better if you were exactly how I wanted you to be. Yeah. It's
Well,
amazing.
when it comes to that one, she declared herself, quote unquote, cured in a whirlwind. And
Yeah,
that's after a lifetime of addictions and, shall we say, questionable decisions.
yeah,
And
dude.
that,
You always go for like a diet version of Courtney Love sometimes with your dating. Like some of these chicks you tell me about, it's so crazy. Nice
this
work. I'm not
one, her heart was in the right place, but honestly, it's really a tragedy in its way. In disabilities, you're not cured in a whirlwind. You're not instantly set free, no matter how strong your faith or your commitment to do better is going to be. It's
yeah,
always going to be a part of you. And as an addict, she should have known that it's coming from a place where you have to be vigilant. You have to keep strong and just not assume that everything's all sugar and roses now.
no, it's
And
naive. And I mean, yeah, she sounds like a fun one. We don't have to dwell too much on her.
she had a good heart. I'll give her that. I mean, I haven't seen her in many years, but well, sharing that story is an important one because it left me with a message that I was broken and I was in need of fixing, and relationally, I wasn't operating on her level, and that's something too many people with disabilities hear. And
I
when
think
that
it was in
happened,
person. It was like when we had Brandy on and stuff. I think she gave some good insight from the female perspective. Shout out Brandy Banties as well. We'll have you back on again, love. She was very like you said. I don't care if you have a disability or not. That's just a crappy thing to say to somebody. And I think sometimes we need those experiences to kind of compare and contrast what our ideal uh, our ideal mate is, or like our own ideal of ourselves, because it's like the law of attraction. What you put out there is what you receive in so many ways. You
well,
pretty could attest to that.
that's the thing. You meet somebody, you build them up in your mind. You assume they're going to be this, and this, and it's all very exciting right up until the reality sets in. As you had an interesting experience with someone who came over to see you recently. You wanted to share that story. I'm giving you a segue.
Wait, which one?
The one that came
Oh,
up and gave you a dance.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, I already did, man. It was like, yeah, she didn't come over. It was last night. It was last night at the club. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't tell her on camera. Shit. Okay. Well, what are you gonna do?
Nice to see you're as focused as ever.
Dude, I told you I smoked the fattest joint and I've maybe slept 3 hours. So I'm kind of running on fumes here. Old Papa Bear needs I drank some Colombian coffee, so I got to kickstart the engine a little bit. But
Jeez, if you're trying to kill your liver, I'll phone you some varnish or something.
it'll be okay. The liver's tip top, Magoo. No, so like, yeah, I think we were just talking about this. It's kind of funny when you always hear the expression, when you're not looking for it, it'll come to you, or like when you don't have this neediness or anything like that. Like that's the thing I've seen just with like dating and stuff. We talked about that a couple of the other episodes, a couple episodes back. I think that neediness or uh, any sort of like, what's the word I'm trying to come up with here? Neediness, or just kind of feeling like you need somebody else to kind of fill up your cup, for lack of a better analogy. I think it's not attractive on either side. And like, I don't know, I shock a lot of people sometimes when I stand up and shit. Like this girl, when it was different story. Like when I literally just stood up, she's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you could do that," and da da da. Like he just completely. I love seeing the shock in people's faces. Sometimes it's hilarious to me. It's like I'm not doing anything that extraordinary. I'm just, my limbs are working at maybe 70, 60%, but they can still kind of work. Anywho, I was at the bar for last call, and I go up there, and then I don't know where, like right when I'm at the bar, uh, this lovely curvaceous girl, this Latina girl, just comes and starts like dancing on me and shit. And I'm like, I try to get up, and she's like, "No, no, no, Juco, you can sit back. You can sit back." And so I'm like, all right, all right. So I just kind of sat there and stuff. And it's just so funny. Like I didn't ask for that. I didn't do anything. Nothing about my vibe said that at all. It just kind of fucking happened. Plus the drinks are flowing, so people are in a very festive mood regardless. Wasn't, the music I wasn't crazy about, but like it's a background thing. It's some people can shake their ass to. And yeah, that was very it was a very random experience, but a very fun experience. Have you ever had stuff happen to you like that, where people just kind of come into your life and you're like, I didn't even expect that?
Yeah. In fact, about a year ago, I met this girl and we kind of clicked and spent some time together. But well, she she pulled back. Let's put it that way. I mean, came into my life, got me thinking maybe this could be a decent relationship, and she'd pop up every once in a while. But she had this thing where she'd just randomly show up whenever she needed something, or
Yeah, that's the worst.
time, times when she was facing hardship or whatever. Not the worst reason in the world, but a little more recently, I've trying to help a friend who I was kind of interested in her for a while, but she decided she wasn't interested in me. Now she's calling every night to tell me about people she is interested in, to the point at which last night she was actually Googling this guy's profile and actually having me sit there on the phone listening to her. She actually asked me if I could help her find this guy, and I'm thinking, no, I don't know what this guy looks like. I don't
Yeah,
know this guy at
yeah,
all.
just hang up on her next time. Like you gotta kind of condition people to not. Yeah, that's classic.
Tried that. She
Yeah.
started getting all guilty. It's like, oh, you're not really a friend if you don't want to listen to me go on about five other guys. Problem is, it's all the same story.
Is that what she said? She said that shit.
Yeah, she actually
All right.
said, I'm not really a friend if I'm not listening
No,
to
it's
her
just I don't
going
need,
on. It's like,
I don't need to fucking hear about all the guys you want to bang. Like, it's one thing if you're watching a movie or you're out somewhere and you're like, oh, that person's attractive, or you like that, that's one thing. But like, you know, I don't know.
she
I think correct me if I'm wrong. There's an old saying in show business. It's like leave them wanting more, or sometimes you don't have to tell people every single thing. I think we kind of people wear it as a badge of honor. It's just like just fucking chill. I mean,
I mean,
she's
she knew
comfortable with you, but like that sucks that that she's using it like that. Don't allow that shit.
she knew I was interested in her briefly, and thinking, why do I want to hear if she's going after this guy who abandoned her and is now coming back and apologizing, hearing that same story about three or four different guys? I don't need to hear it.
Yeah, she just doesn't want to be alone, dude. That's what that is. It's codependency, and she doesn't want to be alone. So,
Okay, where does it say doormat on my head?
I don't know. You got a pretty big forehead, so I'm sure if you adjusted the font size, squeeze something in.
For those of you who are watching this with just audio, I do not have that big of a forehead.
Yeah, I know. talk about the pot calling the kettle with a big forehead.
I
Man,
don't know what that means.
no, it was like the pot calling kettle black. I tried to be clever, but I don't know. It didn't work. Didn't work, you guys. This show's almost over. We're putting you through a lot. This episode should be tired Dave and and listening Cam and quiet Cam.
I'm about as quiet as a military air raid siren.
This is true. This is true.
I know this because I dated a girl in the army for a year.
Damn, what was that
Not
like?
known love until you've been to an artillery range and heard some colonel yell, "Duck and cover, son, your life depends on it."
Yo, did you get to hold a grenade and stuff? Like did she get like what did you do? Like you never told me about this chick. I got
I never did.
no, I
My
got
last year of high school, I was dating an army cadet, and she had a corporal's rank, and well, her idea of a date involved taking me to a military camp. Eating army food was interesting. Let's put it that way.
was it like prison food? What kind of food?
It was one of their ration packs, which they tend to be pretty expensive, actually.
Yeah, because it's just like the bare necessities. It's like real food you need to survive and stuff. I heard Jocko talking about it. Jocko Welnick.
But well, she and I we were together about a year, and kind of ancient history, but well, I got to see some interesting stuff. I was still a print journalist in those days, so actually did an article on the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, like it's kind of like you're doing like up close, like investigative journalism, but you kind of it's good to have a contact on the inside like that, makes you see things differently, right?
Yeah. Although I could have done without the artillery.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I know it's important they train and they do all this stuff, and I was in no real danger, but well, the noise was it was fun.
It sounds fun. Ah, sorry, this bubbler's a piece of work.
Can't believe I never told you about her.
You never told me, man. I don't know all of your escapades, your little love tales.
Yeah. Well, in the words of the immortal Will Smith, I'm not answering without a lawyer and a dictionary present.
Mm-hmm. I know, especially if it's not about Scientology. They gotta be careful with that shit.
Well, I'm not one to judge anyone else's belief systems, but honestly, I've seen one of L. Ron Hubbard's movies, and they were right to Mystery Science Theater it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it looks like you rushed it for sure. Definitely a first draft type of quick to publishing. Excuse me.
Yeah. Mystery Science taking the worst movies ever and giving them new life. Last week, I saw this old horror movie that was sort of a ripoff on Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice being one of my all-time favorites. Seeing this was kind of a letdown. Commentary was great, but the movie, well, it's exactly what you'd expect.
Oh,
Not quite the real thing, but close enough so you expect the real thing.
it's kind of like a Tales from the Hood type of thing. Or like, wasn't there a movie like that where they did like old horror movies and yeah. There's cool shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? This is not really a short episode, but we wanted to have something out there for you. We'll get a guest for you guys again soon. Yeah, we don't have too much right now. Just we can do plugs right now, I guess, and then we can wrap up in a minute. Yeah, you go first, Cam.
As always, you can catch my show on cjam.ca or the NCRA Program Exchange, or as of recently, iHeartRadio. Just look up HandyLink, HANDILINK. It's not that hard to find.
No, and Cam has had a wide range of guests It's mostly a show centered about disabilities, but there's people who work with people with disabilities, or like it's centered in the world, but not everybody on it has a disability. So multiple perspectives. He does the work. He's the real fucking deal. Cam Wheelz on Facebook as well.
Yeah. I'm Cam Wells 90. I mean, there's a lot of people with my name running around. But it's interesting. Today, I just stumbled into a disability robotics expert, an aerospace engineer who started his own company working in robotic prosthetics. I just got this interview completely by accident. It's going to be for an upcoming episode, but
That's
it
really
was kind of a
cool.
cool thing.
Like, is it just prosthetics or what type of robotics?
Just assistive devices and prosthetics. Basically, anything he can design and make work. It's not because he has necessarily a disability himself. It's because people he was close to were affected. That's actually the reason a lot of people get into it. I mean, it's affected every family and every social circle you can think of. Past 10 people on the street, chances are one of them has a disability, whether you see it or not.
That's true. Yeah. Stop taking up our spots, you lazy fucks. Because 1 out of 10 of us can use that spot. You know? Yeah. Yeah, basically it. I don't know. The robotics thing I think is cool. I wonder if that's ever gonna replace certain types of care. Like if a robot can do the things that a human being is entrenched with, like empathy and understanding. And that's what I always wonder.
Well, we're not building Skynet, even though we probably should.
I know, not yet. Hey, the Defense Department's doing some shit. In the States at least. I don't know what the hell we're doing. Doing stupid shit too. Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
No, I mean, yeah, like I said, you guys, sorry, you're kind of getting me at half speed today. If you're watching this on YouTube and you turn it down to 1.5 degrees, like on just the slow down method, my voice is going to be even slower, but I think it's going to be fun.
True, but it'll be entertaining.
Hey, dude. There's like a piece of food flying at me, like I'm a food fight. No. Somebody spits on me.
We've all seen the paper towel commercial.
We have, unfortunately. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll just agree with you.
You haven't seen that? The food falls and all the people go, no, when it goes towards this dog and it goes, yes.
Yeah. Oh man, anything with the dog makes everything hilarious on TV. Anything with a freaking dog. Yeah, there's some hilarious dogs in my building. I have to say, you can kind of all see their little personalities. There's one that always freaking barks every time I go to use the elevator. I'm like, every time I drive by, he's like, arr, arr, arr. I think he's a pug or something. I'm like, it's me, you idiot. You hear me every single day going down the elevator. And then he instantly stops barking.
We got this one in my building, cutest little thing. Thinking of voting him head of the tenants association. The only one in the building everyone likes.
That's so funny. Yeah. Hey, that is actually a good strategy. If you need to de-escalate a situation, bring a cute dog or bring a cute animal in general. It'll kind of disarm people. It's like in The Water Boy when Henry Winkler's character is intimidated by the coach, and he pictures Jerry Reed's character as like a little puppy.
I ever tell you I met Henry?
Yeah. You could tell that story, and then I think we'll wrap up after that because it's gonna be hard to beat that.
Years ago, just before I started the show, in fact, the Learning Disabilities Association brought Henry Winkler to town, and because I was tied to them and they wanted someone to do an article for them, I got to meet him ahead of everyone else. Got a photo with him, autographed copy of his book, and at the press conference, he actually gave me a quote that's now in the course I designed. I asked him what his greatest challenge, being someone with dyslexia, was in school, and he looks at me and says, everything but lunch. Nice guy. like him.
Yeah. And for those, if we do have younger viewers, I have no idea. I have not looked at the optics. If you're younger, Henry Winkler used to be the Fonz. So
Hey,
yeah. Hey, and it was on Happy Days, a show called Happy Days, a show before Cam and I were even thought about. It was on the air. When the phrase "jumping the shark" is commonly associated with that show because I think he did literally jump a shark, and then the show came up after that.
for those who might be a little more contemporary focused, I would point out I think Henry Winkler was arrested on one of the Law and Orders.
Yes. He's done multiple things. He's a very good actor and a nice man. And he was also in The Water Boy. So go watch The Water Boy. Great Adam Sandler movie. One of my top 4 or 5 Adam Sandler flicks. Actually, there's only 3. It's Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. I guess Uncut Gems goes in there now. Uncut Gems was pretty great.
It was like the Bob Barker scene in Happy Gilmore.
Oh, it's great.
That was just
Beat the shit out of Bob Barker. Bob Barker's got like a mean right cross.
right up there with his appearance on Futurama. And he goes, "You're garbage, human garbage."
I love it. Yeah, you guys. All right, I think we're gonna wrap there. This has been episode 4 of Wheels and Wells. Cam did his plug, so I'll do mine right quick. You can follow me on most social media at Dave Squeaky Wheels on Instagram with the Z, DAVESQUEAKY, Wheels with the Z. Facebook as well, Dave Squeaky Wheels. Just look that up. You'll find my personal.
Those who want to stalk him.
Yeah, exactly. Stalk that one, please. Dox me, make threats to my family, do all of that. Just make it really routine. I love when that happens to me. It's what I welcome. Do all that. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna do it with my Gmail. That's fucking weird. Yeah, do that. Twitter I barely use, so fuck all that. Snapchat I just started using, but I barely use that. Why am I giving plugs I don't use? Why am I giving links I never use? I'm so stupid.
It's like when someone gives you a fake phone number.
Dude, I know. It's yeah. Anyways, those are the primary ones. Facebook and Instagram, I use that. If you're watching on here on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. YouTube.com/Dave Squeaky Wheels with an S. I'm trying to get changed to a Z, but I don't know how. I did it back in the day when I wasn't trying to be cool with my stage name. So yeah, just check that out for now. Links and stuff like when we do shows and all that, I'll know a little bit more of now. We're trying to figure all that stuff out, but we'll keep you guys posted. And Cam, is there anything you want to say before we let the people go?
Just anything said is it's all in good fun. I mean, we're not trying to offend anyone, and just want to show some love. I mean,
we're just fucking around, guys. We need to laugh in this type of time. It's such a douchey thing to say, but it really is true. Like we need it. Laughter can be the best medicine. It's not the best medicine because you can't shoot laughter intravenously or use it in a practical sense, but it is definitely important.
When I tell stories about my exes, for example, it is to illustrate a point. I mean, my ex had a good heart. Just my opinion, she made some bad choices, but thinking we can all kind of learn from others in society, just their viewpoints and the actions they take, and decide who we want to be really in society. That's all there is to it. I'm not trying to criticize her nor anybody else.
Full disclaimer. Yeah, I know. I got you, man. I think people understand. But yeah, hit that like and subscribe. We'll be doing these as often as possible. We'll have some more guests for you. We're going to figure out a new video format and all that. So please stay tuned. Wheels and Wells on the Dave Squeaky Wheels.
Don't say it sounds like Wheel Wells.
Yeah, sorry, Wheel Wells. I know, Wheels and Wells. Yeah, Wheels and Wells, you guys. Episode number 4. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love all y'all. Stay safe out there. Take care of somebody. Hug each other. Do what you got to do. And hit that wrist and hit that like and subscribe. Cam?
Love y'all. Peace out.
See you guys. Till next time.